In the stillness of the night, when the moon hung like a pallid specter in the sky, a group of fishermen ventured out into the vast expanse of the ocean. Their names were whispered in tales of bravery and recklessness, for they sought the most elusive and dangerous catches that lurked in the deep waters. Among them was Captain Marcus, a weathered seafarer with a haunted look in his eyes, as if he had glimpsed the abyss itself. They set sail on the Siren's Call, a sturdy vessel that had weathered countless storms. The air was heavy with anticipation, each man eager to prove his mettle against the creatures of the deep. Their destination was a remote stretch of ocean known only to the most seasoned fishermen, a place where legends spoke of monstrous beings that defied description. As they cast their lines into the inky blackness below, a sense of unease settled over the crew. The waters seemed unnaturally silent, devoid of the usual signs of life. Even the stars above appeared to dim, as if reluctant to cast their light upon such a cursed place. Hours passed without a single bite, and frustration began to gnaw at the edges of their determination. Captain Marcus, however, remained steadfast, his eyes fixed on the horizon as if he sensed something the others did not. Just when they were on the verge of giving up, a tremor ran through the ship, sending men sprawling to the deck. At first, they thought it was an earthquake, but the rhythmic pulsing beneath their feet told a different story. A monstrous shadow loomed beneath the surface, a shape so vast and terrible that it defied comprehension. The men stared in awe and horror as the creature rose from the depths, its eyes like twin orbs of malevolent light. "It's the Leviathan," whispered one of the crew, his voice barely audible over the sound of their pounding hearts. The Leviathan was a creature of ancient myth, said to be older than time itself. It was said to consume entire ships in a single gulp, leaving no trace of its victims behind. Captain Marcus, however, did not flinch. With a grim determination, he ordered the crew to ready their harpoons, knowing that their only chance of survival lay in confronting the beast head-on. As the Leviathan surged towards them, its massive form casting a shadow over the entire ship, the crew sprang into action. Harpoons flew through the air, finding their mark in the creature's flesh. But the Leviathan was no ordinary beast. Its hide was as tough as iron, shrugging off their attacks as if they were nothing. The battle raged on for hours, the men growing weary as the Leviathan showed no signs of relenting. With each passing moment, it seemed as if their fate was sealed, destined to become another chapter in the ocean's endless cycle of death and rebirth. Just when all hope seemed lost, Captain Marcus had a revelation. He remembered an old legend whispered by sailors in hushed tones around campfires. It spoke of a relic hidden in the depths of the ocean that possessed the power to control even the mightiest of sea creatures. With renewed purpose, Captain Marcus dived into the churning waters, his hands searching blindly for the artifact that could save them all. The Leviathan, sensing his presence, turned its attention towards him, its jaws gaping wide in anticipation of the kill. But Captain Marcus was not alone. His crew, driven by a newfound courage, joined him in the depths, their voices raised in a haunting chant that spoke of ancient rites and forgotten powers. At last, Captain Marcus's fingers closed around something cold and metallic. With a triumphant cry, he brandished the relic high above his head, a glowing orb that pulsed with otherworldly energy. The Leviathan hesitated, its eyes narrowing in confusion. It had never encountered such a force before, a power that transcended the natural order of things. With a single gesture, Captain Marcus unleashed the relic's power, sending a shockwave rippling through the water. The Leviathan roared in agony, its massive form convulsing as if caught in the grip of a powerful spell. And then, with a final shudder, the Leviathan sank back into the depths, vanishing from sight as if it had never been. The crew erupted into cheers, their victory against the impossible filling them with a sense of invincibility. But Captain Marcus knew the truth. He had glimpsed the true horror that lay beneath the surface, a darkness that lurked in the heart of the ocean itself. As they sailed away from that cursed place, the waters calm once more, Captain Marcus glanced back at the spot where the Leviathan had disappeared. And in the depths of his eyes, a flicker of fear remained, a reminder of the price they had paid for their moment of triumph. For in the realm of the ocean, where mysteries abound and nightmares lurk, there are some secrets that should never be unearthed. And the true horror of the deep is not the creatures that dwell within, but the darkness that resides in the souls of men.